In an area of space called the Orion Nebula, Hubble can see how planets are formed. The nebula is a giant gas cloud 30 light-years across, and inside it, hundreds of stars are being born. Disks of gas swirl around some of the stars. Inside the disks float tiny dust grains, grains that may one day clump together into a fledgling planet. Henry Throop of the Southwest Research Institute needs Hubble to test this theory.
I was particularly interested in whether you could see the first stages of planet formation in the outer edges of these disks. We're looking at formation of planets. We're looking at answering the question of how unique we are.
Conventional ground-based telescopes can hardly make the disks out. But the extremely high-resolution ACS camera on Hubble can see them clearly. By tracking how the disks affect starlight, Throop can study the dust grains inside them.
We can tell the difference in the grain size by how the light passes through them.
The effect the dust grains have on starlight is the same as foam blocks on water waves.
Now you can see these waves coming out in the water. Over here, they're radiating outward in much the same way that the light from the Orion Nebula is coming out. These blocks represent the dust grains in Orion, and we're going to send the light waves through, just like the light in Orion gets sent through the dust. Now what you can see here is that the light, the waves, are traveling through the dust grains, the blocks here, and going outward, so we can see the waves as if they weren't blocked by anything.
Throop believes larger particles will have a different effect.
Now what you see here is these dust grains are blocking the light much more than the small grains were. It's just not transmitted through nearly as strongly. And that's exactly the same thing that we're seeing up in Orion.
Up in space, Hubble sees the changing effect on the light as changes in color. Normally, the starlight coming through the dust appears red. That's because the dust grains block the red light less than the other colors. Its long wavelength means it can wriggle through. But the disks in Orion appear gray to Hubble. This means that dust grains are getting bigger and blocking all of the light. One day, the grains in the disk may snowball into other planets, perhaps even one like Earth.
Now, but it's really the big question here. Are we unique? Is the Earth unique? Is the solar system unique? And where do we fit in?
Ultimately, Hubble reminds us that Earth is just one tiny planet floating in the enormous reaches of space.